Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and we're on the third week of the June Sunday Slow Stitch project. Now, if you've seen the previous two, you'll remember that I got this image from the internet as a guide for this slow stitch piece of old clothing, and I sewed them all together, and then that was in week one, and then last week we did these flowers there and there to sort of represent this one and this one, and today I want to work on this one, and as always happens in these organic things, something different. So let's look at this one first of all. So I took a piece of tracing paper and basically drew round that shape that was on the page, just the outline shape. Transferred it to a piece of card and then cut it out, but I cut one that way and one that way. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to get the back and the front. And because this is quite a densely printed fabric, and I think we're going to go there, you can see quite a lot of the pattern through the back. So I thought that would work. So I'm going to pin these two down on here. And I thought in between there I would do some like stamens like we've got here. So that's that. And then I found this odd piece of applique lace which has got stencils and pearly beads and all sorts on it, and I thought that was very flower like, so I thought maybe we'd put that about there and I can stitch a stem down there. So I'm going to pin that in place as well. And then in doing that, I realised that I didn't feel the cream and the grey was going to work with this applique. So I'm definitely going to have to introduce another colour. So you'll see that I've got white now. Now, I did realise that once I put this white against it, this is actually not very white, but it's more white than the cream, as you can see, this ecru creamy colour. So we're going to use the white, and in case you're interested, it's 106 from the Sheepies. So I'm going to pull off some of that, miles too much as usual probably, and we're going to see about stitching this in place. Now all I'm going to do, I think at the moment, is I'm going to stitch the stem, maybe a leaf, and maybe a couple of tacking stitches, and then I'll use normal sewing thread to sew that in off camera. Now this needle, I've noticed, it's got a bend in it, and that might be why it doesn't thread so well. Let's try this one. Is that one straight? That one's straight. There we go. See, because it's got a bend, it rolls round in your hand. That's my excuse anyway. So how are you all? What have you been up to? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start about here, and I'm going to try find the centre point, which is about there, and I'm going to do a number of straight stitches to, see, here we go, knotting up already, number of straight stitches to like join this together, as it were. So coming through that bottom bit, you know, like sometimes on a flower you get that bottom bit. Not being very botanical, I don't know what that bottom bit's called. But you see, I'm gonna, I know carnations have them, don't they? And thistles as well have them, where it's like a brown sort of cup at the bottom that all the petals go into. So that's what we're going to do. Try and make this cup thing. And then that will give us the top of our stalk. I don't know if I want to fill in all of it or if I want it to be stringy, as it were, or whether I want to maybe weave through there. Not quite sure. Hey, let's see what happens. One of the things I love about slow stitching with no, you know, serious plan, and that's that it is terribly organic. Right, let's poke that through and see. Yeah, I feel like, let's see what we can do here. So if I come up at that edge like that, and then I take the blunt end, as you can hear, I'm still battling with this cold, and I wonder if we can like weave through and maybe fill it in, if that makes sense. So I'm just going over, under, over, under. Oh, I don't like that because now you can see that line. Oh, we don't like that, Mummy. Let's pull that down. Ah, now that's better. So now we do a like a stab stitch there. Yeah, no, I think I'm just going to keep going on the straight stitches. I don't like that weaving look. That's better. And because this is quite open plique, I don't think that being open looks odd. So I'm now going to scoot up here and just do like an invisible, pull my needle off, of course. Do like an invisible tack stitch to hold it down, and then I'll come back and stitch it properly, as I said earlier, with normal sewing thread rather than something special. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to do a straight up and down, almost in, you know, the same place. There we go. And then straight back down there, all the way over to there. Its back will be atrocious, but fortunately, obviously we're going to put a line in, so that doesn't matter, does it? Don't gather it though, that's the only thing. Don't gather it up. Oh, I think that was a bead coming off of it. Maybe a sequin. I'm thinking this was probably bridal applique because it's very detailed. There we go. Okay, the pin can come out because that is very definitely, excuse me, held on there now. I'm going to come down to the bottom of my flower. Ow! And now I'm going to get ourselves a shape. Now my black pen should work on this because it's lighter. There we go. And then oh, there we go. So now that we've got that shape, turn it all the way around just because it makes my life easier. I haven't got any stories for you, I'm afraid. We've just been trying to get over this flaming cold. I'm fed up even talking about it, to be honest. very naughty. I've been shopping on eBay. What I'm hoping is a fabulous bundle of vintage buttons. I will obviously show you as soon as I'm here after they've arrived, because I've got a plan. So it wasn't one of them things that just happened upon me. I went looking for them because I have a plan. I'm wanting to do a big spread of fabric, paper and buttons. Combine my two loves. Here we go. And then we need one to come up here. So, whoops. So, finish that one off. Like so. Oh, I think that's lovely. I think that really just lifts, because I think if it had been all stitching, although for the different colours, it might have, you know, needed something else. Really like that. Right, so I'm gonna go for more of the white for these stamens to come out here, and then I'll be doing the stalk, I think, in the grey. I think the grey is going to work well with that fabric. So you can probably hear hubby's still coughing as well. It's ridiculous. Okay. So knot. And then what I want to do is lift that up. Make sure I come between the two, like so. And probably go to there. And then we're going to do the famous single French knot as the tip of the stamen. So I mean, there's hardly any stitches in this. You know, types. just keep pushing it back so I can make sure that I'm coming behind it rather than through it. Doing the French knot first this time doesn't really make much difference. And then down under there, and I think we'll have a final one on top there, so that we've got 5. You won't see the one on top really from a distance, but you will see it up close, and of course you'll be able to feel it as well. I'll leave the pin in here because of course it hasn't got, hasn't really got any stitches through the 2 pieces of cloth yet. I'm just going to do its stalk in the grey. Whoops. Okay. Well, there's not enough thread in there. Right, where's that pen gone? So now this time we're coming from here. And this one will have leaves coming out like that. Okay. So the grey, which is 618, there we go. Let's get this stitched. Actually, first let's have some coffee. I'm going to start there. I'm going to do the same sort of thing that I did on the other one. Give it this pointy connection. Yeah, I feel like that's a good colour. So that's it. It's the only trouble when you stitch over the edge. The edge of the fabric. Right, now we said this one was going to go off here. Go over the white so it looks like this one's in front. Right, now we've got another one going here. Again, going over the white because it's still in front. Then back to here. And down to the bottom. But then I want one to come up here. Again, not wanting to gather it up. Oh, pulled my needle out anyway. So there you go. For this week, we've got these two flowers in the middle. I think I'm going to get my grey, and for homework, I'm going to whip that. I'm then going to get the white sewing thread and sew this down and I'll get the black thread that I used before and I'll stitch this one down, so that's all held in place. And then when I come back next week, I think what we are going to look at is this one, like a lazy-eyed Susan, and I think we might put that on this pocket, which means we're going to need to put something inside to make sure we don't seal the pocket up. So yes, as always, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Hope you found some joy and inspiration. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.